Hi everyone, so for the last Sabbath of 2020 we wanted to do something a little bit different, and that's just to compile a couple of videos just sharing our individual lessons that we took from the message today. Also make sure to stay behind for a couple of bloopers, but we hope that you can just capitalize on the lessons shared, and that if there's a lesson that resonates within you, please make sure to reach out so that we can talk more about it, find practical ways to actually apply these lessons instead of just being theoretical.
Okay, what I learned is that, based on the Hebrew boys, they didn't bow down, right, to worship the image. But how it applies to me is that if I, to get somewhere, I had to compromise, I had to bow down, I'd have to keep doing it to maintain my position there. So, yeah, it's kind of a lose-lose situation, really. So that's what I learned.
So what I learned from today's preaching or Sabbath school is that even if you're in fire, God will save you from that fire. You won't burn because God's always there to save you.
What I've learned today was that in the story of the three Hebrew boys, when they were cast into the fire, the king noticed a fourth figure. And this fourth figure, he likened it unto the Son of God, who wasn't even alive by the time he was ruling. So the message that we got from this was that as Christians, we are supposed to exude a character of Christ, that even those that do not know him or have never met him should see him in what we do and how we act and what we say.
One point that stood out for me from the message was how firefighters control a wildfire, or a raging fire in other words. They basically track the course of the wildfire, go to the end of that point and light up a fire that they themselves can control. And then once the raging fire gets to the controlled fire, there's basically nothing left to burn, right? So the spiritual application was that if you give your life to God, if you let God resonate and live within you, Satan doesn't really have anything in you. He doesn't have a grip in you. There's nothing that he can claim in you. With the Hebrew boys, the point where they mentioned that, and if God will not save us, that was basically lighting a controlled fire, because in them giving their will to God, in them surrendering everything, there was nothing more that the devil could take from them. If you really have peace in God, what can this world really take from you? What can this world really do to you if you have a peace that surpasses all understanding from God? Obviously, we go through a lot of things in this life that are very painful, but if we really walk with God, and it's not to say that we won't feel the pain at all, but there is no true stronghold that the devil has in us if we actually surrender our all to Christ. So that really stood out for me.
Okay, so what I learned is that I'm not supposed to serve God out of fear. For example, fearing of the consequences, that I might go to hell. But rather I should serve God out of love for him. Yeah, that's all.
Hi, what I learned today was the death waiver. So the death waiver is basically when a Christian gives their life to Christ, when they enter the watery grave, they give up on the things of the world, they give up on life itself. Not my will but your will be done. So as we go through this week, let us consider that our lives are not our own, but belong to him who died for us. Thank you.